Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, by leaving 2 comments, by telling me what you're having for breakfast, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. It does indeed help with the algorithm. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is well above where we were just 2 or 3 days ago. However, as is usual, when we have a major pump way too quick in prices have begun to move back slightly. It says Ethereum trims gains, why Ether could restart rally. This is mainly because we are more than a few days away from Ethereum having its upgrade that we've all been talking about for a number of years. So the speculation is, as this continues and a lot of people become more excited about it and we start getting actual news of how many coins are burning per day, therefore this will reignite some other thing happening inside of the market. It says sentiment turns bullish as Bitcoin rockets past 38,000 US dollars. The market looks great. It's doing just fine. However, at the moment, there's a bit of a bug in the rug. There's something happened where we tripped. I don't know what words you would kind of use for that. At the moment, Amazon has refuted recent speculation and may be readying support for Bitcoin payments, asserting it currently has no plans for Bitcoin. Now, I'm going to just tell you how things normally work within the cryptocurrency space. This is not the first time that we've had a company or a bank or an institution that there has been a rumor, someone who came forward and said something about what they were going to be accepting. It's happened over and over and over and over and over and over and over. What ends up happening the next day? There's always the company coming forward and saying, no, we have no plans of doing that. Look towards Fidelity, look towards the New York Stock Exchange, JP Morgan Chase, every other bank and institution out there. And then eventually at some point they go, gotcha guys. So I assumption, this is me. Any negation of the news that we currently have simply has to do with them not trying to move the price, because if Amazon is going to be accepting Bitcoin, the company also wants to hold it themselves. And you can't really do that too well if the price is around $800 bajillion. According to a Reuters report on the 27th of July, citing a spokesperson from the firm, Amazon remains interested in the crypto industry, but has no specific plans to onboard digital assets for payments just yet. They said, notwithstanding our interest in the space, the speculation that has ensued around our specific plans for cryptocurrencies is not true. However, the spokesperson did not deny that Amazon is researching crypto payments, adding, we remain focused on exploring what this could look like for our customers shopping on Amazon. And we also know that the news of them hiring a blockchain lead and also a cryptocurrency maker, I forgot exactly what the term was, leading to further speculation that Amazon will be creating their own Amazon coin, is also still out there. So the market has pulled back a bit. We're down only a couple of percent, but once again, we were not this high just a couple of days ago. A lot of the news is floating around now, depending on where you really look, because this is kind of the situation. People are saying that Amazon actually had nothing to do with it, that the force upward just happened to coincide with the Amazon news, and that it was actually whales who made sure to kind of push all the short sellers out of the space to liquidate all of their positions and therefore kind of move it back up so that they had to get in at a higher position than they previously were before, which is the same exact thing that we've heard from JP Morgan Chase. And we also heard that before. Remember when what was it? This was weeks ago. There was another short squeeze that happened and it caused a whole bunch of other people to get into whatever. So the news is right now floating around. It says Bitcoin, Ethereum correct gains. Amazon denies rumor and Tesla still holds Bitcoin. I guess for some reason Tesla is still relevant here. So sure. Yeah, that's all the price news floating around right now. We'll see exactly where the rest of the week takes us. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, a formal Ethereum improvement proposal, or an EIP, has been created for the network's forthcoming chain merge, bringing Ethereum one step closer to realizing its highly anticipated proof-of-stake transition. On Thursday, consensus researcher Mikhail Kalinin created a pull request for EIP 3675 on GitHub, Formalizing the chain merge as an improvement proposal for the first time, the EIP has also been slated for discussion during Friday's Ethereum core devs meeting by developer Tim Byko. All right. The proposal would merge the Ether and ETH2 chains, transitioning the network's consensus mechanism away from proof of work and empowering stakers to validate transactions on proof of stake. Instead, the EIP notes that no safety nor live failures were detected since the launch of Ethereum's 2 beacon chain in December, adding the long period of running without failures demonstrates the sustainability of the beacon chain system and witnesses its readiness to start diving and becoming a security provider for the Ethereum main net. Despite the EIP, many leading figures in the Ethereum community, including Vitalik Buterin, believe it is very unlikely the chain merge will occur this year. I'm not holding my breath. All I want is this coin burn to take place. As far as the actual merger or the completion of the move to Ethereum 2.0, listen, we've gotten this far, so it's a slow-moving train, but we'll get to the city at some point, because I think any real hope that something is going to take place on Ethereum without like an explicit date of the activation is kind of just whatever. So don't hold your breath for any Ether chain merge. And I'm pretty sure we also heard that it should take place sometime next summer. So just focus on EIP 1559. Anyway, so yeah, the proposal's out there. They're getting ready to merge the chain at some point in the future. There's a photo of Ether walking into a wormhole. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to be, but he has nice sneakers on, so I guess that kind of does something. Anyway, that's the Ethereum news, and let's move on. In one of my favorite stories of the last couple days, Massena, a town in New York along the border with Canada, has placed a temporary suspension on new Bitcoin mining operations in the area. Why, you might ask? According to a report by the Associated Press on Friday, Massena town's officials mandated the 90-day moratorium on new Bitcoin mining activities due to aesthetic concerns. That's right. Steve O'Shaughnessy, a Massena town supervisor, said miners littered roads with trailers laden with computers and other hardware required to mine Bitcoin. They reported that he said, "We don't want it littered with those trailers that are pumping out Bitcoin. We just want to make sure if they are going to come here, that it's a nice, presentable building." Town officials will reportedly use the 90-day moratorium to ensure that road signs in Massena are decluttered with trailers and shipping containers are moved off-road. So they're stopping people from making money because they want it to be pretty. So if you plan on going to Massena, New York, near Canada, just make sure that you paint your trailer pink, or maybe put like a smiley face on the side of it, or make it into a cafe. I'm not really sure what they want, but this is stupid news, because why would you? What's really weird is that I didn't even know that this was an actual thing, but there are tons of other countries and other cities as well. Like, I understand that like it has to be like slightly uniform to what you're creating. There's this video I saw on YouTube months ago, where these people, it was basically about rich people buying property. And there was one woman who bought a property and she decided that she wanted to rent it out or something like that in London, but she didn't get the permit for it because I think people didn't like what she was wearing or what she would do. I forgot exactly what the exact stupid thing was. But then eventually she got a little fed up and she painted the outside of her house, I think red and white and stripes, and all the other houses were like a colorful summer blue and all these other things like that. And then they tried to sue the woman. They were like, "You can't have red and white houses in our area." And it's like, do you have nothing else to do with your time except for, like, imagine being that rich that your only problem is that your neighbor painted her house red and white and you're like, "Susan, do you see this across the street?" Anyway, so that's the cryptocurrency mining can't happen because they want it to be presentable. Anyway, let's move on. Nonsense. In addition to its previously announced crypto wallet, Robinhood may soon let customers lend and stake crypto. I don't think that they're thinking about it. I'm pretty sure that they're trying to actively get this going. As the company's roadshow, which was broadcast online yesterday ahead of its IPO on Thursday, CFO Jason Warnick said that Robinhood is making a lot of investments in things we know our customers want, such as wallets, lending, and staking. He said, "We think there's a big opportunity in front of us, and we look forward to developing more products for customers. The Menlo Park headquartered trading app currently lets customers buy and sell crypto, but traders can't earn interest on their holdings or move crypto to external wallets." So the news is Robinhood is trying to make a cryptocurrency wallet. Sure, why not? Good luck with that. The other part being staking is becoming a major thing, and I'm telling you this right now. I'm not certain if the current staking coins that we have right now are going to be the it coin in the future, but staking as a source of passive income is definitely going to be a major thing going forward, especially because we're going to get into another story, which kind of moves into another story. They're lightly all tied together, if you will. So they're definitely looking for that. And also lending is going to be a really big thing as well. There are a lot of big platforms, and Coinbase is looking into, or maybe Coinbase already has it. Gemini is going to be doing it. Everyone's going to have it at some point. It's going to be the lending of Bitcoin. The idea is that Bitcoin itself does not generate value in the way that other investments might. You have 10,000 Cardano, you stake it into the thing, it's creating new Cardano. You can put Bitcoin onto your computer, but it's just still not really doing anything. So the idea of lending out and creating debt against Bitcoin and stuff like that is also going to be a major market in the future. And this is why Robinhood is getting into it right now, which is also another, not financial advice. This is going to be an incentive for a lot of people to actually have a lot of Bitcoin and to consume more Bitcoin. And that the more Bitcoin you have, the more debt you can kind of generate in money and passive income and stuff like that. Because, debt lending services are already very big right now. And as the world moves to a more crypto-friendly space, it's only going to accelerate in that direction. So the news is Robinhood is making like 9 new products. Good for them. Hope it works out. Hope that everyone can take their crypto off of Robinhood, because I remember hearing that was an issue before. So, yeah, that's Robinhood's news. Let's move on. In major news, and I'm bringing it to you just to completely explain to you exactly what's happening. I took a screenshot of this and I posted it yesterday on my Twitter, just to really let everybody understand exactly what was going on. For those of you who were not here, did not see, were not on my Twitter, the news spread like wildfire and very, very fast that Tether was allegedly going to be probed and or stopped and or slowed down and or whatever by the department. I think that's DOJ, Department of Justice in the United States. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Tether FUD recycled as DOJ is allegedly probing the executives over possible bank fraud. This news was touted as something that had just come out. This news was brand new. Everyone should panic. And the thing that made me the most sad is that it was most prevalent on major cryptocurrency websites. Every single person was reporting the exact same thing. The sad part is they knew better, but they made sure that their title was just to make you afraid. There was no recycled FUD. I don't like the word FUD, but it fits perfectly right here. This was one of the very few websites that made sure to at least say in some sort of way that this news was old. Every other website did not. A new report from Bloomberg alleged that the U.S. Department of Justice is probing Tether, the company behind the largest stablecoin USDT, over possible bank fraud. This newest development on Tether FUD is coming about 5 months after Tether and its sister company Bitfinex settled its year-long case with the New York Attorney General. The United States and the DOJ and the ABC and the 123, they do not like Tether. Tether is one of the very few cryptocurrency companies, the same as Binance. The same exact thing that's happening with Binance is currently happening to Tether. I don't know if Tether is amazing. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's anything, but they have a bone to pick. That's what it is. A bone to pick with Tether, simply because Tether is, and I know I use this phrase quite often, but it fits it the most. Tether is one of the very few companies that has not bent the knee to the United States. There are many cryptocurrency companies who have either chosen to not do any operations at all within the United States, or if they are doing it in some sort of way, they're not based in the United States. And this is a very big problem for the United States, because they want there to be an office, they want there to be a location where they can go to tell you that you've done something wrong, or yada, 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 yada. The problem is that years ago, there was a lot of speculation, or people were, and the timing of it is actually quite annoying as well. Tether is the first stablecoin that I can remember. It became extremely popular, but by the end of the year 2017, other people realized that they could make their own stablecoins. And this is why we have the Gemini dollar and the Coinbase dollar and the other, dollars based off of these cryptocurrency exchanges. All these cryptocurrency exchanges are regulated through the United States, through the SEC and through the CFTC in some sort of way. So they filled out the proper paperwork. As far as I know, I do not know, honestly. Tether may not have ever done this, or there's something that's missing. Some type of paperwork is simply not there. And this is why the US is in this way constantly attacking them. You may have noticed over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 days, there's a lot of Tether news, maybe not directly on my channel, but on other channels where people are talking about the stuff that Tether has done and Tether has this. And we had news sometime last week. Sorry for talking so fast. We had news sometime last week that Tether is going to be releasing another audit of exactly what is backing their Tether. The news constantly being that Gemini dollar is backed by dollars. Coinbase dollar is backed by securities and by US dollars. And then when people ask Tether what it's backed by, they say, here's what it's backed by. And people go, no, I don't believe that. That's because the interests at play, the richest people who are in the cryptocurrency market, they have their hands deep in the Coinbase and the Gemini coin and the other whatever so-and-so cookie jars, but they do not have it in Tether. If you don't own something, if you don't control something, if it is not in your jurisdiction, you do not own it, you do not control it, you do not have a stake in this, you are not making money from it. So what do? You make sure to keep a smear campaign going for the next couple of years to tell you exactly how terrible it is to everyone else out there so that they stop using it. What I found really fascinating was that a lot of this news that came out for Tether, I checked the news because I check periodically if I'm at home. It came out with like 3 hours after I had read it, and I realized that prices weren't dropping. And I saw other articles already stating, "Oh wow, it's so weird that the market's not dropping with all this Tether FUD." And it's like, this news was thrown out there to make you sell your coins, to panic, to think that the market is going to drop, and therefore you lose your position in the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, as Bloomberg reported, citing 3 people familiar with the matter, the DOJ is pushing to ascertain if the executives at Tether committed bank fraud. They are scrutinizing whether Tether concealed from banks that transactions were linked to crypto. That's the issue. Part of the problem that many banks had many years ago, JP Morgan, all of them, problem was that people were buying cryptocurrencies from their bank accounts, from their own money, using their own money that they had in their bank accounts. But the banks realized that these accounts were being drained and all this money was moving into the cryptocurrency space. So how do you stop people from doing it? Their accounts were blocked. Their accounts were stopped. It happened all the time. I'm sure it happened to many of you as well. Accounts frozen, accounts blocked. You had to call your bank and tell them, hey, why'd you freeze my account? Well, we saw you were buying Bitcoin on Coinbase. This was a real thing. This is an actual problem that we had years ago. And that's why I always scream so loudly whenever one of these new banks is getting into the space, is because they knew exactly what they were doing. They saw this money pouring away from their system. So now them getting into the cryptocurrency space isn't them trying to be nice. They realize where the new money is going, and this is why they're getting into it. So the concealing from banks, if the transactions were linked to crypto, has to do with the fact that, are people buying, and was it listed you are buying crypto with this money? Imagine that being a problem. Note that the alleged investigation is based on events that happened during the early years of Tether, 2016, 2017. Hence, many industry players aren't surprised by the development and have only likened it to be another recycled Tether FUD. Tether has been in fierce scrutiny with regulators amid shady transactions that happened several years ago as well. It's the same news recycled over and over and over, because part of the issue is that in 2019 and 2020, the people from Tether gave a whole list of exactly what was backing their Tether. I think part of it had to do, had to do with like diamonds, it was securities, it was other foreign currencies, it was the US dollar, and I think a portion of it was also like security-based real estate. So within the next couple of months, the people from Tether will release another audit that is going to be done to show exactly what is backing their Tether. I still believe in some sort of way. I do not think that major cryptocurrency exchanges around the world would have listed Tether in any way, shape, or form, because you don't list something major on a cryptocurrency exchange if it's going to be garbage. This is just how I feel. Unless tell me if I'm wrong, incorrect. If you run a cryptocurrency exchange or know somebody who does, I don't think that after 4 or 5 years of Tether being weird or wrong or not having the right reserves, that every single cryptocurrency exchange would be listing Tether if it's something that would have been terrible or bad for the market if it had not been real. I'm going to assume that the people from Binance and Coinbase and other cryptocurrency exchanges did actual research for at least a month to make sure, even if you had already listed it on your platform, that you would still make sure, hey, is this actually real? Here's the actual, also the other really important part to remember, Tether is, I think, from Hong Kong, and it's based between Hong Kong, Switzerland, and the British Virgin Islands. So none of these fall directly, once again, within the jurisdiction of the United States, and this is why they're completely losing their, this is my opinion. This is how I feel. If Tether was based in New York, or in Florida, or in Texas, or in California, we would have no discussions of this. But the largest stablecoin that mimics the US dollar in some sort of way that isn't based within the United States, well, then of course the US is going to have a problem. Anyway, that's all the Tether news. I thought I'd just smooth that out for all of you, just so you really understood exactly what's taking place, because there's so much corruption happening nonstop throughout the entire cryptocurrency space. I thought I'd let you understand that the news that you probably read yesterday was complete nonsense. So yeah, let's move on. Next up, also in really good news that you should be mentally paying attention to, Vermont is the 4th state to issue an order against crypto lending firm BlockFi's high interest savings account. Pay attention to that, for offering unregistered securities. How do you get someone to stop doing something? And I don't even want to use the word good. Something that will benefit their customers. You scream at them and say you are selling an unregistered security. Details of the notice served by Vermont's financial regulator aren't yet available, but BlockFi informed customers about its existence on its website. BlockFi and the State of Vermont Securities Division did not immediately respond to request for comment. Over the past week, regulators in New Jersey, Texas, and Alabama have opened investigations against BlockFi and 2 of its subsidiaries, BlockFi Lending and BlockFi Trading. Regulators allege that BlockFi's interest accounts, which advertise high returns for customers that deposit crypto, amount to unregistered securities. The moment I read this, I knew exactly what this was. Do you know what the largest bank in the United States is? Or in nearly one of the biggest banks in the world? It's JP Morgan Chase. Now, if you connect the dots, we've gone over this about a year and some change ago as well. I showed you this also on the screen for those of you who are actually here. Part of the issue is that banks cannot and do not offer high interest rates. What do you do when people, you have to understand, the old system is actually crumbling. You may not see it explicitly, like you don't see the bank across the street like actually turning into a prune in front of you, but money that was in US dollars is moving rapidly into the cryptocurrency space. It may not just be in Bitcoin, it may not just be in Ether, but it's moving from the old system into a new system. The same exact thing where people are also moving their money from their bank into real estate. A lot of countries have negative interest rates. How do you get people to keep their money into your account? You can't, because the interest rates are so low. You're not earning any interest. And if you have a negative interest rate, well, buddy, they're taking money from you at the exact same time. So how do you stop people from giving other people what you can't give them? You announce you're doing something wrong. It's an unregistered security. In what way exactly? And I know the Howey test. I know that but believe me, we've gone over this 1,000 times, so I understand the wording of it. The securities laws from 1927 have no effect. We are almost 100 years away from the first security test. In what way? Whatever. I can feel my my blood pressure rising as I'm actually going through all of this. And I mentioned JP Morgan Chase just to actually show you for reference exactly what the interest rates are at the largest bank in the United States. For those of you not looking at the screen, if you put in, and here are the higher rates. If you put in anywhere from $0 to $9,999, your interest rate is 0.02%. If you put in $500,000, the money you get back is 0.05%. Inflation within the United States that we heard from last month is currently above 6%. And I even think that is them really like drawing it back and like scraping off a whole bunch off the top. If inflation is 6% and your bank is giving you 0.05, you are losing 5.95% on your money every single year. You want to know the worst part? If you put in $10 million into your bank account, 0.05% return. So logically, it makes sense that people would be moving into the cryptocurrency space, or especially into some type of DeFi, MiFi, iFi type of thing, because many of these platforms, they offer you, this is once again not me telling you to get into them, I'm trying to explain this to you. They give you a 4% yearly return, a 6%. Some of them even give a 12% yearly return for you staking, holding, lending out your Bitcoin, whatever the actual case might be. Why would anyone want to stay in the old system? We see that banks are struggling right now to try and make sure that they terrify people to not get into the space. Same exact thing, which I mentioned before, the third time I'm mentioning it this year, within stable coins. We know that companies like Tether, actually, if you're on Binance, if you're on Coinbase, and not even Coinbase, if you're on Binance and many other cryptocurrency exchanges, if you are lending out or staking or holding your stable coins on these platforms, you're getting 5%, 9%. I think one of them even offers 21% returns on it. Now it makes a lot more sense why they have a problem. Because the money's not in their system. It never actually touches their system. You are completely able now to take your money out of your bank account, put it into any coin and stake it or hold it in some other platform. You are actually also able, this is also the issue that they're having right now and why they're trying to scrutinize cryptocurrency exchanges and DeFi in any way that they possibly can, is because you can even make cryptocurrency. Imagine making money from one of these platforms, making money from Cardano and staking or any other thing. You can now pay for nearly everything in cryptocurrencies. You don't have to cash out of your coins. What happens when there is no moment where you need to cash back out into US dollars to refill your Chase bank account? What happens when you can buy that flight, when you can go to that hotel, when you can stay in that country for 3, 4, 5 months without ever having to actually touch your bank account again? This is why all the banks are rushing into the cryptocurrency space. This is why they're offering Bitcoin futures, why they're offering this, why they're offering and doing all these other things right now, because they understand that they're no longer needed. We don't need banks anymore. We explicitly do not need banks anymore. That's the really crazy part. And so many people keep looking over these things, or it's a really good way to scare people because, first of all, many people within the cryptocurrency space have no idea what a security is, nonetheless an unregistered security. So if you're new to the space, and you were thinking of getting into BlockFi or DeFi in any sort of way, someone's trying to stop them from doing business. I don't like the space. It stops these people from getting into the market. Everything we've seen the last couple of years has been to stop people from getting into the market. That's why it's so significant that every single time we hear that a bank is getting into the space, a bank is buying Bitcoin, an institution is buying Bitcoin, these family offices are buying up thousands of Bitcoin at one time, is because they know exactly what's going on. Banks cannot offer higher exchange rates, interest rates. Many of them have negative interest rates. They're taking money from your account all the time. Full circle. Do you understand why the cryptocurrency space is so major? Because protocols on a computer. That's why it's so stupid when countries are trying to ban people from mining. It's a computer. It's metal and plastic fused together that is running numbers on it. And they're trying to make that illegal. That's why it's so weird that these banks before were like, no, you can't send money to this cryptocurrency exchange. They were blocking people's accounts. People couldn't move their money around as the market was going up. You stopped these people from making money. Why do you think it was such an issue at the beginning of the year when all these people were into GameStop and AMC and stuff like that, when these things were pumping and all these old people came out on TV? We have to stop this. We can't let these people do this. It's because it's now possible for people to make money outside of their system. What happens when you control all the money and you control all the movement? You have all the power. What happens when you don't anymore? It's in front of everyone's face, and so many people don't pay attention to these little things that keep happening all the time. I'm not saying it, as I am not part of the SEC, so I do not know if they are explicitly running or offering unregistered securities, but always dig a bit deeper. No one's getting this money anymore. Like, no one's getting actual money from their bank. I remember when I was a kid walking by banks and they offered 6% returns on a year. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but my teacher told me, it was like, that's amazing. Those are great, great numbers. We will never have those numbers again. Money is flowing out of the old system and moving into assets, other assets that have nothing to do with the bank. Anyway, so just thought I'd bring you that news. Didn't even mean to spend that much time on it, but really understand what's taking place. Why do you think it's so significant that all these rich people are continuously buying up all this Bitcoin? Why do you think when we dropped from 40,000 to 29,000 weeks ago, that every single day, this whale bought 30,000 Bitcoin? This woman from this company was like, yeah, we bought a million stock from Grayscale. Why do you think they're constantly loading up as prices keep dipping? Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. And without further ado, let's move on. And to finish things off, the World Economic Forum, or the WEF, is outlining the speeds at which several crypto assets, including Cardano, XRP, Solana, Celo, that's not Cello, Algorand, and Lumens can process transactions. In its recently published community paper, the Swiss-based International Organization for Public-Private Cooperation looks at smart contract platform Cardano and provides details on the number of transactions it can provide per second. They said Cardano is an open source proof-of-stake blockchain network and smart contract platform that aims to provide multiple features through layered design and modularity. It allows for 257 transactions per second. You know what's really funny? I've never seen this number. I remember looking before, and I did not find anywhere how many transactions per second Cardano did. It's not too bad. I mean, it's better than 3. Just throwing that out there. Next on the list is XRP. They said XRP does 1,500 transactions per second and costs 0.0003 per transaction and settles in 3 seconds. A lot of threes there. The World Economic Forum is also outlining the throughput and infrastructure of Ethereum competitor Solana, describing it as a proof-of-stake blockchain network designed for mainstream adoption. They said Solana enables fast transaction times with the ability to scale as usage of the protocol grows without relying on layer 2 systems or sharding. And they said Celo has a ledger close time of approximately 5 seconds with 1,000 transactions per second. This is making the rounds because a lot of people like whenever the World Economic Forum is massive. Whenever anything like this talks positively about cryptocurrencies, especially many different altcoins, of course, it ends up making the news. I don't personally know much about Solana, Celo, or Algorand, and I can feel the comments coming. I just felt someone go on their computer. Someone was asking me before, it was some random coin, and they were like, bro, how do you not know about that? I'm like, I cannot know about every single coin. It just doesn't make any sense, especially when these coins are never actually in the news. And I can feel someone else now typing, telling me that these coins are always actually in the news, but I'm never researching it. So that's kind of a cool part. Cool. These are very fast chains. That's absolutely wonderful. I think many of these coins will be around for a very long time. Do I ever think that Solana or Cello is going to pass by Ethereum? No, not at any point. But will they become popular? Of course, especially if they can offer high interest rates for anything like that, especially when it comes to staking, because once again, that is going to be a way. Understand, being early in the cryptocurrency space is absolutely amazing because it allows you to be able to accumulate tons of coins that are later on going to be higher in price. That will allow you to never have to ever work again, because in some point, you're going to be able to make a good $30, $40, $50 per day just from doing absolutely nothing, which is, I guess, basically the dream. Here's the actual PDF. Yes, a PDF for it right here. It says Cryptocurrencies, a guide to getting started. Global Future Council on Cryptocurrencies, community paper, June 2021. And you got the pretty colors, and you got the contents right here, and then the summary. This thing is 23 pages, so I'm not going to be scrolling through all of it. Just want to show you some of the pretty photos. Oh, that's a pretty photo. All right. Anyway, that's that news. Let's move on. As always, A very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Bolero Bastos, Crayola Michelle URL, On Crypto with Lionel, Tigara Macho Nisa, Bake Me a Cake, Anytime Fitness, Mom's Corner Staff, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Minting Coins, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Setsuna Damien, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Bankroll Network, 242 to the World, Wise Night Owl, Jared Schneider, Master Ventures in Thailand, Mo Maroni, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, a Bibliophobia. Okay, I was moving the screen. The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Nostromo, Martin Steuer, Moonman High, XRP, Utopia 569, Yasha Harari, Attila the Han, David James, and Navarro Williams, Suspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Tolik Banan, Snacky Chan, Conan Doska, Black Day, Pattern Noster, Nita Miracle, Space Case, Troy, All Good, Bare Bones, Mining, Quota Biddy, Lauren de Silva, Miguel Grolet, VB Nerd 21, Jojo Shaw Show, Mobarazi, and Carlos was like, Speedy 655, AJ Cut 5, Crypto Black Sheep, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Not Brain, Stephen Dirks, the letter M, Wishnicki, Umnu, Red Plump Tomato, Dealers Den, Tony Ambroski, Arachno Dave, Bitcoin, Ben, Roman Geba, Mortified, Fud Wiser, Stake It with Valor, Stake It with Valor, and Professor Wally from Gunbot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who has supported my art. Sorry for screaming. I was like, Prakabra has supported my art through my NFTs. I do appreciate thee. Thank you to everyone who left a like, comment, subscribed, or still here listening to me rambling. I saw the other day, normally on a video, I get around, I think, a good 300-400 comments. At the end of the video, I was asking people to write the letter 1 if you were still here. That video had 2,500 comments. So I do thank you all for your continued support, especially listening to, wow, English, listening to me at the end of the video. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at 37,230. We are currently down 1.9%. Once again, we were just at 29,000. This is a huge movement upward just over the course of 2 days. Ethereum is down by 4%. Binance Coin is down by 3%. Some of the altcoins took a huge hit over the last couple of hours, but it looks like we could continue to do well as the day goes on. Nothing too spectacular or really monumental happening around here. OKB is up by 7.84%. Good for OKB. Axe Infinity is up by 3. AMP is up by 3. All right. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be on this crazy planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.